"Cheaters in the house!" The DJ screamed that, and then like everything went nuts. So we were filming an episode of Cheaters, and we rolled into Dallas at this place called Purgatory. It was a nightclub. It had 3 different levels. It was like the hot spot at the time. And so that was where the mark was. That's where we needed to go. So we rolled up, and typically how we would roll up was 3 vans, maybe, blacked out vans, ready to go. I was a cameraman, so every cameraman you had, you, the cameraman, then you had another person with you that had, of course, at that time we were using these mini DV tapes. It wasn't all digital. So you had someone who carried your tapes, your batteries, anything you would need to be able to film. Then you also had a security guard, because you can, as imagine, it always gets a little bit crazy, right? So every camera person had 2 support people with them. Then you also had the host, Mr. Joey Greco at that time. You had the producer, director. So there was a lot of people that rolled up. So when we rolled up to Purgatory that evening, it was a lot of us. I always laugh. It's like a SWAT team or a military operation. Vans roll up, doors open, and we start piling out. And the bouncers at Purgatory were trying to keep us from getting in, but there was only a few of them at the front door at the time, and there was a lot of us. So we just crashed in. Now, of course, every camera person, we have our headphones on, our microphones, and I'm listening, and they're like, okay, the cheater is on the 3rd floor, so at the very top. So I take off. Now, I always had a problem of getting a little too overzealous, and I would just run, and I would just outrun usually my security guards. I've done that before, another story about that. Outrun everybody. So anyway, I'm flying, and I'm tearing up these stairs. And of course, everybody's looking at you weird, because these are big cameras. These aren't little, now we'd probably shoot it with little teeny tiny cameras, or even our phones. You could probably get away with it, but these were big over-the-shoulder cameras. So I am somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd floor. The music is just so loud, I could barely hear the producers giving us direction over my earpiece. And all of a sudden, the music stops, and the DJ yells, "Cheaters in the house!" And then the place just erupts. And then everybody realizes who I am. I'm with Cheaters, and so that guilty 2 a.m. pleasure that you would stay up and watch. And they just mobbed me. And I was always more afraid, or worried. Afraid's probably a strong term, but I was very concerned about the general public. Anytime we were filming, it usually wasn't the people involved that I was worried about. It was the general public. So they just mobbed me to the point that they just lifted me off the ground. And I'm 6'1". I'm a bigger guy. Got this big camera. I get lifted off the ground and pushed to the rail. So my lower half is crushed against the rail. My upper half is leaning over the rail. People are grabbing the camera and yelling, "Hi, Mom. Hello, Mom. Hi, Mom," which always cracked me up, because we are not live. We've never been live. The show never acts like it's live. So when people are saying hi to Mom on a camera, I'm like, this is gonna be edited out. You guys are totally crazy. So my security guy grabbed me pretty much by the back of the collar and was able to pull me free. And then he was a little bit bigger guy. He just shoved me up the stairs. He almost felt like a puppet in a way. He just like ran me up the stairs. And the crowd is not really separating, but I'm coming through and I'm just pushing him out of the way, and he's pushing me, and like we just crashed through. Get to the very top. Yes, there's things happening. The cheater is there. The person that brought us, that hired cheaters or had brought cheaters in, is there. The girlfriend, so it was a guy, was the cheater, had a girlfriend, and then there was another girl. So altercations start happening upstairs. They're getting mad at each other. They're yelling. I'm filming. Crowd's just starting to cave in. And then the cheater takes off down the stairs. There's this back stairway. So I follow him as fast as I can down the back stairs, running down. And like I say, I would get in trouble because I got so focused on get this guy or the person that I'm following them. We ran out in the streets of Dallas. I think I almost got hit by a bus or came really close. Finally, we got in this back alleyway, and at that point, it's the cheater and the 2 girls, and the 2 girls are fighting and pulling each other's hair, and I always used to laugh about cheaters. Like no one wore the appropriate undergarments. It always seemed like people were missing any kind of undergarments, especially when they were wearing dresses. It was kind of it was a little bit crazy, but hey, that's the show. And so that went down. So that night at Purgatory, that one was crazy. It was probably one of the times where it was the biggest crowd I had been in with, and a little bit dangerous that with the stairs and people mobbing me, mobbing the camera, and then running through the streets of Dallas. It was pretty crazy, but yeah. So cheaters in the house. That always cracks me up when I hear that.